You are now listening to Nexxlegacy Radio, a radio station for the people.
What's up, my good people all over the world? This is Charles, iambranded Madison of Nexxlegacy Radio, here with the beautiful guest. Hey, listen, she's about to set the world on fire with her talent and her passion for music. Checking her out on social media and just absorbing all the talent that she has. I was like, you know what? Had to hit her up the other day and just be like, look, come on, I got to interview you. I want the world to know who the heck are you? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen, I appreciate all the people out there. You are going to get to know a singer, pianist, an actress, a diamond in the rough, basically, because, you know, I'm reading off her IG, though, but it's true to form. It's true to form. And if y'all want to get to know her, make sure y'all go ahead and hit her up on social media at Miss Eyez, and you spell it by Mseyez, and I have Eyez on Nexxlegacy Radio, live and direct. What's good, girl?
Hey, thank you for that introduction.
Hey yourself. Hope all is well, and thank you for taking the time to hang out with me and the listeners that is listening, will be listening, all that good stuff. So before we get into all the music and your single and everything else, I want to know, and the world want to get to know you. So how did you get started doing what you're doing and all that good stuff? Let us know.
Well, I definitely grew up in a musical family. Everyone on my mom's side sings and plays piano and other instruments, and friends of the family as well. So music has always been a part of my life, and I took to it very, very young, even when I was a baby. Like, apparently, like, I hear stories, people saying, I loved to listen to Mary Anderson when I was a baby. And it came full circle because they found out that my great-grandmother, her name was Mary Anderson. So that would make sense. Wow. So, yeah, so that actually came full circle recently. I didn't even know that was her name. And so I think music can be very comforting. And, you know, I kind of got discovered a little bit when I was like a toddler, and I started taking acting lessons with her. The talent agency here in San Francisco. So, but I started taking music lessons and dancing when I was like toddler age. So the ballet, singing, piano, and acting. So that's how I got started.
So as I'm listening to you, you're saying toddler age, so you was a young one when you really started feeling music for the most part. And you say music is magical. Music is gifts. Music makes you feel a certain way. You know, it will tap into every single emotion that you will have, and maybe you didn't even know you had this emotion until you listened to that song or whatever. But you know, was there a specific song that, you know, as you either, not just as a toddler, but as growing up, you gravitated to as like, oh, this moves me. This gets me to the point where it's just like, I can't do nothing but. What was that specific song?
Over the Rainbow. I even sang it at I even sang it at my preschool graduation. So, it was, Judy Garland, she's really special. She's so talented. I think that she doesn't get enough credit today as an influence. She's one of my biggest influences, but I don't think today she gets enough credit because I think people take her talent for granted today. If that makes sense. I just feel like people just like, oh yeah, I saw the Wizard of Oz. She's way more than Wizard of Oz, but really she's a lot of people's first introduction to music because you probably saw the Wizard of Oz when you were a toddler and it probably moved you.
Right.
So I feel like she doesn't get that remembrance anymore. She's one of like the first, you know, maybe not for everyone, but you know, a lot of people. That's one of the first movies you see when you're little. May not be the first, but it's probably one of the first 10, you know?
Yeah.
So,
No, you're right on with that, though, because I feel like, you know, if you peel back the layers of Judy Garland, like, as a kid, you know, at least for me, maybe, you know, because you're dug into the craft and you want to sing and you have a voice and everything else. Like, I thought her voice was beautiful as a kid, but like you said, maybe even then, took it for granted. Oh, I watch it again. Or, you know, you go back and, you know, you don't realize what it was until it was. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's a different, people get a different reaction or response out of it. But you're right. I feel like people do take gifts for granted. And I think singing is a gift because even though it's crowded, the business of music is, it's just, you know, it's a crowded business. My question to you is, like, how are you navigating through the complexities of the entertainment business as we see it in 2024?
Prayer. So,
amen to that.
Well, yeah.
Yes,
well,
amen.
Yeah. So, prayer, but also too, you know, because of 2020, you know, I stopped doing a lot of stuff. I'm like, oh, a deadly virus that could kill everybody for breathing? I'm good. All right? So
right.
I just, I kind of sat in the house and then when I felt like, you know, it was clean enough or, you know what I'm trying to, no, you don't. Okay, so what I mean by clean enough, let me clean that up right quick. What I meant is when, you know, there were less cases being reported and it seems like more people were coming out and I guess when masks became optional and less forceful, like people getting beaten for not wearing a mask, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I took some classes. I started going back to school because the reason why is because I did a show. Like, as soon as clubs opened back up, I had a show, and you know, really well. And I said, "Hey, Eyez," and then they came and they gave me a hug, and I embraced them for a really long time.
Yeah.
It was a bit embarrassing. I was like, And then I hugged someone else, like, I know I'm a hippie, but I'm not that much of a hippie. Like, right? Like, it was almost like, yeah, if you could picture, like, someone sniffing someone's hair. I didn't do that, but it to the other person, it probably came off like that. Like, what kind of a weirdo is this?
So, Eyez, keep it true, though. Like, you just coming out of COVID, and you haven't really had hella interaction with hella people. So, listen, and you're probably an empath, and you're probably like a very, very, you're a hugger, right? Like, you know, you just want to radiate love. Like, oh my God, we made it through. Come here, let me give you a hug. Come here, hold on tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I understand. I
think it was a subconscious thing because I give people hugs, but, you know, I do stay to myself for the most part, but I embrace someone that I didn't know that well and embrace them for a long time. Like, I didn't intentionally do it, but I also didn't let go. So right. I also didn't let go. So once I realized it was a long time, like,
hey, it ain't nothing wrong. Listen, you know, hey, it may have been like, you know, listen, it may be different for some folks, but I get it. Miss Eyez, my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. So, listen, you navigating through, like, I mean, I know the entertainment business is busy. It's, you know, it's cutthroat in a sense, and, you know, we had to navigate through some crazy COVID stuff, and I still feel like we lost a year. As fast as these last couple of years have been, like, I still feel like we're behind. For a lot of different reasons, not just entertainment business, but personally, socially, everything else that comes with it. It's just different, right? So, you know, with your situation that you got going on right now, musically and things like that, how do you assemble a team of people that has your best interest in mind as far as getting your music out and your brand expanded, etc.?
Working with Dr. Wright, she's like that, so she has a good heart. She's about her business first, of course. She's about her coin. But other than that, she's cool. And then, it's hard to find people like that, but when you do, continue to work with the people that you enjoy working with. So if there's people out there who do a really good job, keep working with the people who do a really good job. I tend to always switch it up. That's just me, probably because of, my past. So sometimes I have two people doing the same thing. It doesn't mean the other one knows,
Right.
but usually the secondary people don't usually work out. It's hard. So it's not that I'm like, I can't give a straight answer to that because it's hard. Like, I've had some really good audio engineers, but, that was a while ago. That was a long time ago. I don't have them anymore. Like, I had a really good audio engineer, but he was really good, someone that I considered on my team. But like I said, I had to let him go because sometimes the people are no longer focused or they don't show you the same level of respect. You have to stop working with them. Not because you don't like them. Like, they could be cute, they could be talented, they could have all of that, but if they're not gonna show up or they're gonna, not be as professional, like have a standard of professionalism then that matches yours, then you kind of have to walk away sometimes. So in that case,
Tell that truth. And not only that, it's hard to navigate through your journey as a musician and, enhancing your brand when that's all you want to do. Like, look, I got this passion. This is inside me. I need to get this out to the people. And like you said, there's other people that's rolling on skates and just sliding by without really just putting their foot forward and just making sure that everything is good with the development of not just yourselves, but an engineer. Like, to me, I always tend to forget, like, not me, but just I think the engineers forget, like, hey, the bigger she get, the more I get, the bigger I get as well, because they may want to holler at the engineer as well, or the producer, or the beat maker, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people tend to, like, they forget in the midst of all that, get lazy, they get set in their way to the point where it's just like, nah, I don't want to do this. But I think it's pure laziness at the end of the day. And then, you're gonna shine Eyez, and then they gonna come back because they always do. And then you're gonna be like, nah, bro, it's okay. Hey, good luck though. No hate here, but it's just, you got to evolve. So my question to you, as far as the evolution that you have with your music from where you were as a toddler to where you're at now, how do you feel like you've progressed in not just singing, but just, the confidence that I know you got to have in order to get your stuff out there?
Confidence, huh?
Yep.
Confidence, that's hard. It's hard because, I don't know how the confidence stays.
Okay.
I don't know where that comes from. I think confidence for me might come from the act of doing it. Like, sometimes seeing an opportunity might present itself to you, it's like, oh yeah, I want to get this. And that's where that confidence might come from. Yeah, so I don't know where I get my confidence from. I think having experience is one thing, so there's a certain level of confidence you already have, just because you've done it before. But I don't know where I get my confidence from. I'm just trying to be honest. I have a little bit of confidence. I'm happy, with myself, but it's hard because I have insecurities with some of my performance. Learning how to fake it, that's like a false confidence, but that's one that you that's one. You could have a false confidence. Knowing when to conceal imperfections. So if you have footage of you and then you start eating a donut and spilling coffee all over your shirt, don't use that footage. Just skip that part, take that part out, and then go to the next part of the footage where you're not eating a donut, spilling coffee all over you, and you got a new shirt on. So a type of false confidence, but no one will ever know but you if you do it that way, right? All I can do is do my best. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's how it's gonna radiate. Like, to me, a lot of people look for perfection. Like, I know a lot of people who's been in the game for a long time, and they suffer from the insecurity too, even though they overthink their performance, or they may overthink a track, or they may overthink, you know what, hey, I didn't do this verse right, or they overthink certain things about what it is that they do. You know, I always look at this, you know, when it comes for an artist. Like, I do music on the side, but it's really more of a hobby than anything. But I always tell people this, like, you know, you get your stuff out there, the more you get your stuff out there, people can talk about from where you went to your first single to where you're at now. Let's just say 10 singles later, and wow, look at the growth and the maturity of that person. Even when you go on stage, when you perform, and you be like, I don't know if I did this right, because, you know, I might have something in my nose, or I might, you know, might fumble on a word or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I always feel like this, like, you know, if you leveled up from performance 1 to 10 to 20 to 50 to 100, and each time you get that layer of, you know what, I'm getting more into what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it. I think the biggest gift you can give yourself is to not sidestep the shortcomings that you might have. Your insecurities, embrace that, because that's what's going to lead you to, you know, provenance later on after your 100th show. You're going to be like, oh, man, that first one, I'm going to look back on that fondly, because, you know, that's where I got it started. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I do that too. Like, I try to look back at what inspires me.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. I think, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's you know, it's a part of you and what you do and how you do it. And I think it's good when people get a chance to not just get to know you. Let's place the voice with the face and the action of the journey of what you went through. And I think it's solid that, you know what I'm saying, giving pieces of yourself to the people is never easy, but the courage that you have to be able to do it, to get your single ready, to get this going on, is definitely a big blessing. With Miss Eyez, my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. And let's talk about the single, though. Let's talk about the single. Can we talk about Sugar?
Yes.
All right, so, I mean, people can go check it out. It's on Spotify, and, you know, as many outlets as you possibly can. Just search Eyez and then type Sugar, and just let it be as sweet as that song. So tell me how you got it going with the single, and you know, everything else that came with the single.
Yes. So I started working with an audio engineer named Joshua Newman, and he was selling some beats, and I listened to all of them, but I was listening to them on Spotify, and I heard Sugar, and that was really the only one that I gravitated towards, like that I had a pull, like it felt special. So I got that, and he sent me the track, and it was a different song called Sugar. So apparently he had two songs. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, that Sugar wasn't for sale. I was like, oh. And he gave it to me anyway, and I guess here we are today. It took a long time to finish this track. I know it's only 1 minute and 18 seconds, but believe me, there was a lot of minutes and 18 seconds over the past few years just to get this song done. So, you know, and I got to be honest with you, I still felt like it wasn't done. But it had to be released at some, like, because you can only do so much, right? You know, you hear criticisms and critiques on your songs, and sometimes it's like, ooh, they heard that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I can only do so much, especially with down or just now coming out of being shut down. It was hard to get a good mix on the song. It was also hard to record the song. Kept changing studio locations, and it was hard. So I had to do the best that I could do. So, and that's it. So yeah.
That's more than just it. Like, the single is real nice. People out there that's listening, go get it, go search it. It's available on Spotify. Not now, but right now. People can go check it out, get them stream things up. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. But now I feel like this, as far as singles go, this is the first of many. Remember, like I said earlier, it's a part of growth and progression. Like, if you're able to, get everything nailed down from the next single or the full-length album or EP or something like that, and you really got it all together, then, again, Sugar is going to be that one that is going to be talked about with a smile on your face, because you know what? I remember the journey that it took to get the beat from Sugar, and I remember that at first it was, it wasn't for sale, and then he gave it to me, and then it was hard to do this, and then, right? So it's going to still smile because that's part of your journey, part of your legacy as far as who you are. So, that's why I think it's important for people to jump in right now, not just absorb her, get to her, catch her music, vibe with what she got going on. Because to me, I think, guys, it's important for people to just, not just because it's hot, get it because this person has a story behind the story. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's true to form, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so you want to know a little about the story? So the guy that I'm singing about is pretty much self-explanatory in the lyrics.
Is it self-explanatory, or can you elaborate more?
I'm trying to elaborate. So, I mean, it has a bit of a dual meaning. The song also could be about a mother singing to her baby. That the baby don't see her, don't know she's there. So, that could mean, because I kind of saw like someone standing outside of a glass window or a glass door looking in at their baby. Mm-hmm. So, but as far as the relationship with that guy, it's like, I will say this. So I've seen people critique my song online. So there is a lyric that people, they get close to getting right. So when I say like I wasn't even on your mind. So when I say you say hi, like I wasn't even on your mind. So that actually means he does know. First of all, I'm only feeling it because you're feeling it, right?
Right. And
I see you in a gaze, daydreaming about me, but then you're like, hi, like you didn't, like none of that would just happen. Like the birds didn't start chirping, and the heavens didn't open up, and the bright lights, like you didn't feel none of that. Okay, right. So you keep ignoring these feelings and these signs. But I'm going to play along with your game and say, but you don't see me. So I know that you see. Yeah, I know that we see each other, but you're the one pretending like you don't see nothing.
Wow.
So, yeah, exactly. So that's the lyric that I noticed on social media. Like, people were like, had their head around. That's more so what that means.
Hey, but you know what? I'm a guy, so I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm not a story, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. People out there that's listening, guys that's listening or will be listening or whatever, hey, listen, sorry. I mean, I'm just giving real game because game recognized game. So if you put it out there and a guy's, feeling it, picking up what you putting down, so to speak, but he's ignoring the issue, or that means let's just keep it true as a guy. We ignoring our feelings. We know how we feel. We know what we feel. We just ain't trying to tell you why, because we want to be the man of the situation. We want to take control of the situation. We want to control our feelings, because the moment we acknowledge that we don't have control over it and we have relinquished that feeling to you, that means our man machoism or whatever stupid shit that goes out there, people are going to be like, well, he's a punk. He's in love. And to me, I think as you get older, more mature, whatever the case may be, you surrendered all that. You don't even care what anybody say. Like, if I'm going to give my love to you, I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to be proud, damn it. That's how we roll. But a lot of guys don't. They're afraid to surrender when it comes to how they feel. Because if you see it, and if you're an empath, or even if you're not, if you're a good judge of character or whatever, you know what a person's feeling because you can feel their vibe, and they're not, and they're hesitant on responding or reacting in a certain way because they're scared. That's it. Being honest. Keep it true.
Yeah, well.
And if guys out there listening, too bad. I just told the truth. So what? Too bad, so sad. That's real talk, though.
Yeah, so I had to say, but you don't see me, and walk away. So that is what it is. I was like, I mean, I still think about him all the time. I'm not going to tell you how I know that he still thinks about me, but I'll put it like this. This isn't exactly what's happening, but I'm going to put it this way. So let's pretend that I have an app to see who views my Facebook profile. So let's just put it like that. So he's looking, but apparently we're not friends and we don't know. You know what I mean? Where did he go?
Hey,
but he's still checking it out.
Trust me. It goes around. Shout out to some of the exes that still do too. So, hey, it is what it is. It happens. Yeah. I see you, but you don't. But hey, but I know that you see me. So trust me. Hey, it happens. It happens. Hey, if you checking for me, but you're not willing to acknowledge that you are, then you still not true to your feelings. You know what I mean? You're not true to it.
Yeah. See, there you go. And that's why, it's almost sad. It's bittersweet, but that's why we have to, walk away because I can't just play these games for 4 years, or however many years. I'm just saying, we can't keep doing that. Just jump in, man. And the thing is, he did try to jump in. But because he wasn't respectful with it, this isn't in the song. Never mind.
I got
Never mind.
I got you. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna add on to what you just said. Hey, he tried to jump on, but he half-assed it, and then it just didn't come off as genuine. So then, you gotta go there. So, trust me, I've been around the block a few times. I know this stuff, but you know what? One thing about me is I can acknowledge it because, the moment you acknowledge what's really true and your screw-ups and what you've done or whatever role you played that didn't work makes you feel like, you know what, hey, I'll be better for the next one because I know I'm going to avoid that shit moving forward, right? Like, to me, it's just, just being true to yourself. And you know what? I don't want to feel closed in no more. Let me just let it go. I'm going to tell everybody how I feel. And if you're not feeling it, that's okay. But if you are, you're going to get the best of me because I'm wide open. And I feel like, especially with guys, sometimes that's what we fail to do because, at least for me, you compartmentalize everything else. No, I got it. I'm going to hold my feelings in. Oh, I'm not going to cry. No, I'm not going to do that. Now, I don't care. I'm a boo-hoo. And if you don't understand why I'm boo-hooing, then too bad. And if you think that's weak, then too bad. Like, I don't care. Like, to me, I just kind of have that mentality now. So I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. You know what I mean? Miss Eyez is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. So you had a single. It's getting, like I said, it's getting rotation here with us on Nexxlegacy. But also, what are your thoughts about just the radio game as it is right now? How do you see it? Because it's different. It's not how it was, some decades ago when you can easily make a call, be like, hey, can I get that Sugar Play by Miss Eyez? You got that on rotation. Can you do that? It's different.
I don't ever remember it being that easy. I specifically remember requesting several songs of my favorite artists and them not playing it.
Hey, it depends on what station he was calling at that time, though, right? Right. It depends on what
The
station.
two main stations out here. The two main stations.
All right. We from the Bay, so it depends on if it's late night, because I remember throwback KBLX back in the day. If you was able to get in and make a call, hey, I want to dedicate this to my girl, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, that was easy. Depends on what time, though. Depends on what time. Late night, though, late night was a win. Late night. Just saying.
Yeah, I used to talk to some of the DJs in the middle of the night. They were real cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, exactly.
There was one radio station, they actually asked me to come in and, hang out with them. And though I believed them, some part of me did not believe them, so I never did it. So that's something I regretted, because I told my mom, I told my mom, and she said, well, when do you, I didn't know, well, how do I get the address? And, I know, it's just one of those things, you don't answer the phone, and then both the DJs answer and just start talking to you.
Yeah.
And then, hey, yeah, well, why don't you come in, and we can do, they said we were gonna do something. I don't remember what it was, but I said, yeah. And, I used to call in pretty often. I actually, now that I think about it, I used to have a good old time, and the DJs would play with me sometimes. But the kind of playing I didn't like is when I requested a song and they didn't play it. People that invited me in, they played the songs.
Yeah. See, that was wrong. But but what you said did bring back memories, because you got to think about it. Even back in the day, some of these DJs, they were, if they had probably a sound guy or something like that, and it was just them. Probably the other guy was in the other room, and dude was probably, or male or female, was probably in their little spot by themselves, just with the music. You know what I mean? And if it was late night, yeah, they were asking, hey, I want some company. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but the two DJs, that was during the day. I did used to talk to them in the middle of the night, but they were popular DJs. They did a different radio station than KMEL. They did pop music, and they were serious about me coming in, but I kind of got scared. I was like, really? How? It's not just that simple. Yeah.
Right. It's just you're going into the unknown. You don't know what the hell is going to happen or who you dealing with or whatever. But, I want to say, 50-50, because, you always throw that out there. You just don't know until you know. But, some of those people, I promise you, just wanted to just, hey, be kept company. You know what I mean? I just want to talk.
I know.
Playing music, stuff like that or whatever. That's what I got from some of the people I used to deal with, male or female. It wasn't, it was different. But also see it like this, too, because I think you have more of an opportunity to put yourself out there to, different parts of the country now and stuff, just on an account of, it's not just localized. You got an opportunity to really get it out to, different countries. And I think it's a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah, I do. I think the different countries thing is cool.
Yeah. So with Eyez being my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, what's next for you? What, singles out, what do you have planned next in terms of your music? What's up?
Well,
Album,
I definitely
something.
I definitely want to do more performances. So I'm going to be performing this song. Yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it. So, you're
super right now. You're I am performing a song, but you didn't say where, you didn't say when, you didn't say nothing.
Well, so my next show, in promoting this single, I was just given the date. All right, so on May the 24th at 7 p.m., I'll be performing at 37478 Glenmore Drive in Fremont, California. It's going to be ladies' night, and this is done by Cut It Up Entertainment, one of the hottest entertainment companies in the Bay Area. They're awesome, have lots of DJs, a chef, artists, a record company, and a record store. These people are lit, so come through.
Listen, you don't have to ask me twice. I'm there. We gonna have to make that. We're gonna have to make that run. That's easy. That's easy.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Oh,
yeah. I'm there. I'm gonna put it on my calendar. Like we set this one up here. Absolutely, we are down. That's what it is.
So that's making me nervous.
Oh, okay. No. Don't be nervous, because, listen, I know we just had dialogue like this, but you know what? You my people now. Like, I'm going to support you. I'm going to yell, scream. I'm a fan, too, now. So, there you go.
So, I'm saying,
just turn up. Just turn up.
New venue, new location. Same great people, but, I'll put it to you like this. The first time I performed for Cut It Up Entertainment, I was performing on a dock? Like at the Brooklyn Basin, like how the boards on like the boardwalk kind of thing. Oh. So I wore high heels, and as I was performing, my heel got caught in between a little boardwalk thing. So I'm standing there with my feet caught in the ground, and I looked nervous. My body, my body gestures were acting as if I was nervous, but I was really just stuck. And I looked disappointed because I tried to pull my feet out and it didn't come out, but I still have to perform. So I'm moving from side to side with my heels caught in the thing, and I finally get it out, and then when I get my heels out, it's the saddest song of my set, and I left on a sad note. So this is crazy. So this is chills, and then like this father and his daughter were walking, and he watched because he felt sorry for me. He thought I was nervous. I'm not nervous. My feet were caught, and I couldn't move. But he gave me a little pity watch, like.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, it's gonna be cool watching you perform. You know what I'm saying?
It'll for saying that, right? Oh God. Okay.
Hey, girl, it's gonna be great to see a performance. Look, not just because of what you just said, but just in general, because I feel like you get past nervousness or whatever. Listen, I'm gonna be there to cheer you on. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna be in your element. It'll be comfortable. It's not gonna be crazy. So go turn up. Go turn up.
Oh, and by the way, this is a hip hop show. I'm not a hip-hop artist. They just let me perform. Shout out to the Bay Area industry people who do that for me.
Hey, that's what's up, though. Like, if you got other hip-hop performances and stuff like that, and they let you slide in doing pop music, listen, that goes a long way as well. They're just like, look, hey, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Eyez is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and a couple more questions before we let her go is this. You know what? Hey, before I even do shout-outs and stuff like that as far as, social media and all that good stuff, I got to ask you a very important question in the history of music itself. Well, actually, there's two. First one is, you know what? What's your favorite music decade? What decade of music you feel like is, like, the best?
45 through 50. Nah. Late 40s to 50s. So late 40s to like late 50s.
Okay, why?
Yeah. Well, because I couldn't pick just the 50s. So it would have to cross in between. You know, the beginning of the pop music.
What are some music that stood out during that decade that was your jam?
Well, the explosion of rock and roll, and with that came the style of pop that we do today, from Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Shout out to Jimmy Merchant. He mentors me from time to time.
All right.
So, yeah, he's the original.
You want the mecca of music in its beginning. I feel it. Okay.
Well, it's. I mean, you said I could only pick one, so
Oh, because you know what? I always hear people talk about I have a fascination for 80s music because, to me, I think that was a nice decade of diversity. Hip hop was pretty much just kind of at its apex in terms of the roots of it all, right? The grassroots, and also the movie soundtracks. You can't forget a lot of the 80s music soundtracks. That's a very creative outlook, mentioning the soundtrack. You can't listen to or look at you can't listen to a song without remembering a movie and vice versa. So, you won there. You know what I mean? So, but yours is definitely different because, I've never had anybody say anything, 40s and 50s and the reason why. So I think you delivered a very, very good piece of who you are, actually. That tells the tale. And with that being said, one more question is, if you could define yourself in a soundtrack, as far as that goes, what are some selections of songs that will embody who you are as a person, and as a go-getter, and as, not including your music, but just in general? Like, if you had a few songs you could choose of the soundtrack to your life, what would it be?
Well, like we said about Over the Rainbow.
Okay.
So we're just picking songs, but songs that are specifically on a soundtrack, or just songs?
Nah, just your song to your life soundtrack. Like, any song you could pick. Pick whatever song you feel. I don't care what genre it is or anything like that. What you would define in the soundtrack to your life. What songs plural would that be?
Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah.
All right.
Yeah, and then a couple Amy Winehouse songs.
Okay. All right.
And Aaliyah, and maybe about 3 or 4 Aaliyah albums, because she might have a 4th one on the way. There's a lot of music that I listen to for the time being, because I tend to like what I like and stick to it. And right now I'm exploring newer music. But Sam Cooke, his album has to be in there. Jackie Wilson. I'll get too amped up with Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, but they could be in there. Johnny Mathis. Glenn Miller, Artie Shaw. Some Negro spirituals, authentic ones. Gregory Hickman Williams and Gregory Hines. We gotta add what are this group from Pennsylvania? I forgot their name, but them and there's so many songs from the 50s that that are good to have, like Johnny get angry, Johnny get mad, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a good one, because the lyrics is like what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? So those, Michael Jackson's albums, sometimes I go for long periods not listening to his music, for reasons, he's no longer here. And
right.
But my favorite album from him is Dangerous. But I listen to like calming music, also like positive. Oh, Karen Drucker, she has to be on there. Karen Drucker, Eddie Watkins Jr., And you know, like let's put in some Cherokee, and a Cherokee album. There are lots of Cherokee singers that sing in Cherokee, sing traditional pieces. And I have to add some classical music, particularly Bach and Mozart.
Okay.
Beethoven's okay too. Like, I mean, we could just add him in there. And I like the Handel, you know, the Christmas stuff. Handel, the Messiah. That. I used to listen to that throughout the year and had no idea that it was a Christmas. That was a Christmas thing.
Yeah, that blows your mind, don't it? Nah, I think overall, Eyez, your selections of music is definitely something that I was expecting, which is all over the place. You know, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, blah blah blah. Right? So I think it's good. You know, and that explains your diversity and the culture of what you're embracing when it comes to how you do your thing as an artist, right? You're taking pieces of all these people who meant so much to the industry, and you're just melting it to a specific brand that is called Eyez. You know what I mean? And that goes a long way. So, you know, as we wrap this up on Nexxlegacy Radio with my guest Eyez, I want you to take the floor and give shout-outs to not just yourself as far as where people can find you, but also people out there that you acknowledge that, you know, is paving the way and helping you out in your journey called music.
Yeah, well, shout out to Dr. Wright. Shout out to Teresa Campbell, the Mommy's at Block TV Awards, a couple of my friends, Devon, and yeah. So, and I have a website, but they just don't get updated as much anymore. So.
Okay. Look, we're gonna take some time to make sure that, you know, when we do continue to stay connected, like we're gonna throw some traffic social media, we're gonna throw some traffic everywhere else. Instagram, make sure you hit her up at Miss Eyez, Mseyez. And then she also has a link tree on her Instagram as well. Same name, Miss Eyez, Mseyez. Miss Eyez, my guest, Nexxlegacy Radio. Listen, this is going to be the first of many. So as a new fan, I'm definitely going to make sure that I hit you up and, you know, come to the shows that you add and, you know, and continue to pave the way. You know, like I told you, you're going to get your music. We'll continuously spin on Nexxlegacy Radio. I can't not just thank you enough for, you know, hanging out with me, but also I'm proud of you, though. Just keep leveling up. You know, every song that you make is going to be an extension of what you do, so you continue to grow and be better than your last song. You know what I mean? So I can't thank you enough, and I'm so proud to know you and to, you know, see you grow. Absolutely. And we're gonna stay connected. I got your info, and what I'm gonna do also is you know, I'm gonna air this in different sections, have it out on you know, Spotify, iHeartRadio, some of the other stuff too. And you're gonna see me tag you on some promotion on some of this stuff, because I'm gonna let it explode. I'm gonna market this and put this out there. So I'm gonna tag you on a couple things, but you know, just watch what I do, especially when your music is on rotation as well. You're gonna get the tag that, you know, hey, it's running right now on Nexxlegacy Radio. You know, search that. You know, get that free app. People can listen to music for free. You know what I'm saying, and good advertisement and stuff like that. So, Eyez, I'm gonna be at you. Thank you for being a blessing, and we gonna work together. We're gonna do something big. I work for you now, so whatever you need me to do, I got you. I work for you now.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.